Welcome back and happy Thursday to you. Thanks for tuning in and starting your morning with us. Now, everybody, of course, loves the opportunity to win. And what better prize to score than a whole trip to New York? Now, all you have to do to stand a chance of winning a trip to the Big Apple worth a whopping 150,000 Rand is enter the Lancewood Cake-Off. Now, entries are open, so get into the kitchen, make your favorite cake recipe with any Lancewood product, whether it be sweet or savory. And then if you make it through to the top selection, there's something special, something very exciting on the horizon, because you have the opportunity of being mentored, coached by award-winning singer, songwriter, restaurateur, acclaimed foodie, author, Jay Something, the man from one of our favorite bands all across South Africa, Mikasa. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Something, come on, come on. Get in there. My brother.
What's going on, Chad?
Grand, man.
Like you sharp, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, it's always so good seeing you. I just said earlier on that I admire, I love your dedication to your craft and every single thing that you do. And I sometimes find myself wondering, what is Jay Something doing now? I wonder. Because you're so busy. What's life been like? What's been going on in your world right now?
Yeah, a little bit of everything here and there. I mean, you know, the music thing is obviously my main focus.
Of course.
It's always been. And then in between that, I'm trying to make sure that I learn how to bake, you know. Getting my bake on. But yeah, I've been having fun. I think just the broader pictures that I'm just out here having a lot of fun.
Yeah. Of course, we've seen you on My Kitchen Rules, where you play a kind of a dual role as a judge and a presenter all at the same time. And I was wondering to myself now, if you were to give advice to the guys that are going to be taking on Presenter Search on 3, it starts off tonight on SABC3, what would you say to them as your advice on being a great presenter?
Kind of weird, because I've never really heard anybody say I'm a presenter. And it's like, it's weird, because the show, My Kitchen Rules, it's like, it's about home cooks and about me just being there. I've never felt like that. But I think one of the things that I told myself is just to be myself. I think that's why I don't think I could ever be an actor, because I couldn't be anybody else. So I think to whoever's auditioning, I think just go out there, be confident in your ability. And it will show on screen. Yeah,
and it definitely does show when it comes to your ability to cook and to convey the passion of cooking, because it's in you, it's born in you. Where did the love start?
For food?
For you, for food, yeah.
Well, I think it stems from mom and dad. I think it stems from my parents. And they were in food their whole life. But I think like food is just, it's just an expressive form of art for me as well. I mean, I know that sounds really deep and cheesy, but I think it's just a method of expressing yourself and then hopefully getting people to like that. And I think that stems from my house and wanting to cook for my wife and making sure that she's a happy woman. You know, that's what it's about.
I mean, just get it in there while you're at it. So when it comes to the Lancewood Cake-Off, I mean, we're trying to encourage people out there to be as creative as they can by baking their best cakes. And it could be anything, right? What are you looking for in a great cake that could be prize-winning?
I think for me, with food and competitions, I think it's just about trying to be unique and trying to be authentic. And I think that for me, what's always spoken louder than anything else is authenticity in food and being true to yourself and having, you know, sometimes the best food is the food that has depth in your life. So if you grew up with this banging cheesecake that your mom used to make, and that will make it taste better than anything else that you could ever come up with. Because sometimes people like overcomplicate things, and they're like, I need to make the most creative cake, and then it's like overly complicated. I think when cooking, you need to think of textures and balance of flavors. That's the most important thing. And then being true to yourself, and it will taste good. Yeah, man. That's why mom's food always tastes nice, because it's just like, it's full of love.
It's effortless, it's full of love.
Your mom doesn't do like foams and like, she just like puts on a plate of food and you're like, oh my God.
Very true, very true. So this prize is incredible. I mean, a trip to New York, 150,000 Rands worth. You've been to New York,
I have,
I'm sure a few times. What is it that you love so much about New York?
I think it was just taking it in and just being in, you know, in Times Square and just like standing there and just thinking to myself, like, music brought me here. It's crazy, because like I'm just a kid that, you know, was just writing songs on guitar, and then all of a sudden I knew I was in New York. So I think that the correlation here would be like, imagine you bake a cake and then you post it online, and the next thing you know, because of your cheesecake or whatever you made, now you're in New York. So, but New York's the energy, it's the freedom to be creative and the freedom to be expressive. I think that's one thing that I really love about New York.
Yeah, man, a prize certainly worth entering for. So there you go. You've heard it from the man himself. This is a competition of a lifetime, and it's worth entering. So go ahead and visit lancewoodcakeoff.co.za today, and in a few moments, Jay Something himself will be sharing his favorite recipe. He's talking about that simplicity, the balance and the textures and the flavors. We want to see how he does it in the kitchen when he shares his recipe with us. But of course, that trip to New York could be yours, so get entering and do it now. Off is in full swing, and entries are coming into lancewoodcakeoff.co.za. Get there, enter, because there is a massive prize. I mean, on the cards, 150,000 Rand trip to New York. Now, we all love a big old slice of cake, of course, right here at Expresso, especially while you're listening to Jay Something's boys, you know, and you're enjoying cake as well. And the man, of course, is here joining us as one of the mentors and judges of the Lancewood Cake-Off, and he's here to share his very simple and very easy pumpkin cheesecake recipe. I'm very, very excited to taste this.
Cheesecake.
Pumpkin.
What's up? Pumpkin
All right, dog.
cheesecake,
All right,
yeah.
well, take it away, man. Tell us about this, this cake.
Yeah, I think my whole idea around this, because I'm not much of a baker, so I'm more like a savory person, and my wife's normally the person that does like sweet things at home.
Yeah.
And she wanted me to bake, and then when this campaign popped up, I was like, yes,
let's try
a great opportunity. So I took the idea of like a pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
And then I took the idea of a cheesecake, because I really love a baked cheesecake.
Okay.
And I mixed the two. So
yeah,
obviously,
pumpkin is not really something that we associate with baking in South Africa. In America, like Sunday pumpkin pie after Sunday lunch is always amazing. So
yeah, exactly.
You got some pumpkin in there?
Yeah. So basically, what I do is, which is a very important process, is roasting the pumpkin versus steaming it or boiling it. Because the roasting, you just get that beautiful caramelized sort of on the pumpkin, and it adds a lovely sort of sweetness to the whole thing. And then just spicing it up with traditional sort of pumpkin-y spices. So you've got nutmeg, cinnamon, and then a little bit of ginger, because I love ginger. And that's also another thing that I did, is on the base we used ginger biscuits.
Okay.
So ginger biscuits, mix them up really fine, add a bit of butter, and then you start to like press it down.
There we go.
And then you just pre-bake that for 10 minutes. And then...
I think it might have been the cinnamon that hit my nose, but that immediately smelled like cake, and I loved it already.
And then once you've roasted your pumpkin and you take it out, you puree it, and then you spice it up. I just add a little bit of butter and a little bit of milk, just to add a lovely, like, sort of another element of creaminess to the pumpkin.
Good stuff. All right. Then, what's next up?
Yeah. And then next up, we've got a little blender here, and we're using some full-fat cream cheese.
Yeah.
Important thing, I think, with using cream cheese and cheesecakes is to make sure that your cream cheese is at room temperature. Just so that it just blends nicely and you avoid having any lumps or anything.
Yes, yes.
And another thing that you can do as well is just to kind of cut this up into blocks.
Okay,
just to make it easier. As soon as you buy it, and then it's just easier for the, whole process.
So that's how you would incorporate the Lancewood product into baking a cake that would potentially get you a trip to New York with 150,000 Rand. I mean,
we forgot to mention the small printer. Did you tell them about the fact that they have to take us with?
The T's and C's that apply, ladies and gentlemen, are
Take
that...
two people with you.
Jay Something and I have very valid visas to the United States.
Exactly. I'm ready, man.
All right, cool. So you've gone...
so we're just gonna we're gonna whip up a little bit of cream cheese, which is like, this is the process of like making any cream cheese, like a baked cheesecake.
Yes.
Any cream cheese, any baked cheesecake, and then
I'll take that.
The flavor profile is the pumpkin here.
Oh, hold on, that's it. And of course, with the full fat cream cheese, you get the
everything
flavor.
full fat is good, man.
Just gotta go there with that. Absolutely.
I love. So we're just gonna whip that up for about 2 minutes or so until it's nice and sort of creamy and smooth. And then once that's done, we're gonna go in with our sugar. Yeah. Which we're using just normal white sugar. Okay, cool. Just to add a little bit of sweetness.
I tell you what, because we're doing it for TV, do you want to go ahead and do that already? Just add those ingredients. No in the meantime, you SMS the keyword cake to 33728, and we'll send you the ingredients list as well as a link to the recipe so that you can make your own pumpkin cheesecake. I've got to say that right, pumpkin.
So we're just doing it for TV, yeah?
We're just doing it for TV because obviously we have a ready one.
Then you'd go in with the eggs.
Yeah.
And then make sure that they are... Make sure that they are like mixed well together through.
Yeah, so you're gonna let that all go together.
It's really quick, man.
Yeah.
And then once that's done, we're gonna add in the pumpkin, mix it together and just incorporate it well. Yeah. Pour it into the cake tin. Yeah. Chuck it into the oven at like 180 for about 45 minutes until it looks beautifully set. Yeah. And then let it chill for 2 hours until it cools. And then generally you should leave it overnight so that it just kind of just comes together nicely and it settles down. And then the next day, you slice, which is now, you know.
Yeah,
we
man.
made one ahead of time.
And if you've made some extra cream cheese on the side as well, just as a bit of a frosting, you can cut a piece and then just like dollop on top of that.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And I think that's also like even mascarpone. Lancewood does a beautiful mascarpone. You could just whip that up with a bit of honey, because pumpkin goes really well with honey.
Yeah.
And you could have that on the side. And
There we go, there we go. Well, there you have it. Easy as that. That was really simple, watching it from the side at least. Now, of course, you don't have to be a master baker to enter the Lancewood Cake-Off. You too can share your favorite recipe to stand a chance of winning that amazing trip to the Big Apple worth 150,000 Rand. Definitely worth a shot. I mean, even if you, for me, I would put muffins together in a cake formation and use a Lancewood product. But anyway, all you need to do, exactly, all you need to do is upload your picture of your cake on lancewoodcakeoff.co.za with the Lancewood product that you used. And of course, you have until the 20th of May to enter, so get those entries in. My man, thank you very, very much.
I wish I could enter, man.
I'll see you in New York. No, T's and T's apply. We're doing this.
Take us with.
Come on. We are ready. We are ready. We're going to go to a quick ad break. We'll see you right afterwards.